Hey, you might start a conversation with a prospect and they may love what you sell. And because you get rejection from so many prospects just through naturally selling, you're going to face more no's than yeses. And because you face a lot of no's, it might feel so great to hear how much a prospect loves what you sell. Is their love and the love that they have and the interest that they have, is it more of a want or is it more of a need? So let me give you an example. And when I go through these four areas, I'm going to use selling a car example because we can all relate to that. If someone walks onto the car lot and you're a car salesperson, and let's say they love the vehicle, right? But the car that they own is 2 years old. Okay, so it's not as bad as it's 6 months old, but it's 2 or 3 years old. It's a very nice car. It's in great shape, and they're just kind of bored with it. It's a sports car, and they want more of an SUV. Now, when you learn how good of a car they drive, you realize that they want to buy a new car, but they don't need to buy a new car. And to give you a different example on the other extreme, let's say that the person that you're talking to, their car is 15 years old and it breaks down maybe 3 or 4 times a year. This person truly needs what you sell. When just looking at the area of does the prospect need or want what you sell, that's kind of the spectrum that you can look at. Now, it's not to say that you can't sell to a prospect that where it's more of a want. It's just that it might be more difficult to close that sale. If they love what you sell, in the business to business world, this happens a lot where you might sell a product that the company and the organization and the prospect love what you sell. And because they love what you sell, you're able to get meetings and do demonstrations and have all these discussions going on. It seems like everything's moving along really quickly. But then in the 11th hour, things go really quiet and the prospect stops responding to you. Maybe they never respond to you ever again. What happened in that scenario is that they wanted what you sold, but there wasn't a true need because, let's just say, the current system was not too bad. And so it was getting the job done. While there was room for improvement, everything was okay. And so when it was time to get approval for the money to purchase your product, it got denied and the prospect goes quiet because they're embarrassed that they wasted so much of your time and they just end up going silent on you, going behind the moon. So that's an example of if the prospect needs what you sell. That is an explanation on really looking at and measuring the prospect on how much they genuinely need what you sell. You may say, well, that sounds very logical to do, but I don't really know how to do that. Don't worry, I'm going to give you questions to ask for each of these categories, and starting with the need to purchase. So here are some questions you can ask to feel out, does the prospect genuinely need what you sell? What motivated you to look at us? So if it's an inbound lead, right? If they came in through your website, they walked in through your store, what brought you out? That's a really good question. Going back to the car dealership, if the person says, well, I'm just looking around because my spouse is next door shopping. Well, so they're just killing time. That really tells you right away that they don't need what you sell. But if the answer is, well, I'm here because my lease is expiring at the end of the year. Okay, they need what you sell. Do you mind if I ask why you took time out of your schedule to meet with us? What improvements could you see if you make this purchase? What will happen if you don't purchase something? So it may sound like they love what you sell and they genuinely want it, but what happens if they just say, if they don't purchase it? Is everything okay, or do problems start to happen? Is there a date when this purchase needs to be made? What happens if this purchase isn't made by that date? What time frame are you trying to work along? So just really general questions to kind of feel out the prospect.